Green Lake, dragons, dragons rule. Hey there, Green Lake Dragons. It's Anna, your vocal music teacher. Here in the last couple weeks of school. Oh my goodness. It's also the month of June. And not only is June when school ends before summer break, but in the United States, it's also Pride Month. Have you heard of Pride before? Sometimes it's called Gay Pride. And it is a special month where people in the LGBTQ plus community celebrate how awesome we are. Woohoo! So maybe you've noticed more rainbow flags around than usual. Maybe you've noticed some other kinds of queer flags too, like the trans flag that's on my shirt, or maybe just a general rainbow like this, or maybe combinations of those. Anyways, you're going to watch a video in a little bit here that gives you just a little bit of the history of Pride, and you'll hear a little song. But now, let's get to our Green Lake warm-ups. I hope that you're all doing well. I miss you very much, and I'm excited to sing with you today. Let's go ahead and get comfortable in our bodies, in our space. You can sit or stand or lie down even. If you're sitting or standing, we'll go ahead and make our backs nice and tall. Hands on the upper belly. I'll scoot back so you can see me a little bit better. Inhale, we're going to make our belly and chest get bigger. Exhale, everything's going to get smaller and compact. Ready? Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let's do a couple sighs like that. Start to make the beginning of your sigh start on a higher note. I like to throw my hand into it. That's another good warm-up for our voice because we get high and low like a roller coaster. You do that with your lips. Go ahead and stretch your jaw, open and close the mouth, and any other little movements that you need to get fully relaxed. Shake it out. Okay. Time for a couple, literally just a couple. Usually when we say a couple, we mean two. A couple Green Lake warm-ups from Audrey S. in Mr. Leahy's class. Miss Stewart made me saw my Skittle house down. And at the very end, we sing I Still Ate It instead of I Cried. I'll remind you of the ending when we get there. Miss Stewart made me saw my Skittle house down. Gosh, Miss Stewart, you're so mean. That's me, remember? It's my last name. 1, 2, big breath, tall posture. Miss Stewart made me saw my Skittle house down. Big breath. Miss Stewart made me saw my Skittle house down. Miss Stewart made me saw my Skittle house down. And breathe. Miss Stewart made me saw my Skittle house down. Miss Stewart made me saw my Skittle house down. I still ate it. Miss Stewart made me so nice house down. I still ate it. Nom, 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 nom. Now we'll start there and go down in our voices with our last warm-up today from Dahlia in Miss Lester's class. Miss Andrea made me read my books. That's so funny. The librarian made you read a book. Hopefully, she doesn't need to make you read a book because you just like to read. 1, 2, 3, 4. Miss Andrea made me read my books. Oh, that was high. Miss Andrea made me read my books. Big breath. Miss Andrea made me read my books. 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 Last one, let's sing I Loved It. Miss Andrea made me read my books. I loved it. Reading is definitely something I love. It's one of my very favorite things. I like it even as much as music. Oh my goodness, I bet you didn't think I liked something as much as music. Okay, I'm going to put my warm-up book away, and I am going to now show you a really special video of someone that has a YouTube channel called Queer Kid Stuff. And it's all about the queer community, queer culture, queer history. So I want you to learn about the history of gay pride, of queer pride. Then I'm going to come back and sing a song with you that you might know that has been loved by the queer community for a long time. Somewhere Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz. See ya in a sec.
Hey there, I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Teddy. Welcome to Queer Kid Stuff.
Today we're celebrating Pride Month.
We all are part of one big family. Gaming's happy. Queer Kid Stuff. You are enough here at Queer Kid Stuff.
It's June, Teddy.
Yeah, June. What's so special about June, Lindsay?
Well, it's LGBTQ plus Pride Month, Teddy. We've already learned all about what pride is with a fun new song.
Just when you think that the world's gone wrong, you're not feeling strong. Shout what you feel inside. It's pride. It's pride. It's pride.
And today I wanted to talk about what makes June such a special month for LGBTQ plus people.
I'm really starting to like June.
It's a really awesome month, and it's very special to the LGBTQ plus community. Do you know why, Teddy?
Not yet, but you're gonna tell me.
That's right. So Pride Month has to do with something called the gay rights movement and activism.
Oh, just like when you read that book.
Yeah, we read A is for Activist by Innocento Santoro for one of our Storytime episodes.
It's one of my favorite bedtime stories.
It's a really amazing book, Teddy, and it does a really good job of teaching us all about the different parts of activism. We also learned about activism when we talked about the Women's March. Activism is all about wanting something to change and then doing something about it.
Okay, so the Women's March was activism?
Yep. There are many different forms of activism and many different things that people want to change. A's for Activist does a really good job of telling us what some of those things are. And people who do activism are called activists. Teddy, do you know that I'm an activist?
What?
I'm definitely an activist, and doing this show is a big part of my activism.
This is activism?
Sure is.
Does that make me an activist too?
Definitely. And do you want to know a secret? Just watching and learning from queer kid stuff makes you an activist too.
That's so cool! We're all activists!
Yep. Okay, now let's get to what activism has to do with Pride Month.
Oh, right. That's what we were talking about.
So, Pride started way back in 1969. That's when something called the gay rights movement started.
And that's the activism part, right?
Yep, Teddy. The gay or LGBTQ plus rights movement is an activist movement trying to change unfair things about being LGBTQ plus. Back in June of 1969, some of the laws we have now that keep LGBTQ plus people safe hadn't been made yet.
Like marriage equality?
Well, marriage equality is part of it, but that was a pretty recent one. Back then, some people tried to tell LGBTQ plus people that they weren't allowed to meet in places where they felt safe and free to be themselves. One of those places is called the Stonewall Inn. It's actually still around today, right here in New York City.
Oh, Lindsay, I want to go.
We totally can, Teddy. These two awesome trans women, Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, were at the Stonewall Inn one night when this was happening, and they got angry about it and decided to stand up for their rights. This inspired a ton of other LGBTQ plus people to stand up for their rights too.
I'm really glad they did that all together.
Me too, Teddy. So that was a time here in the US that different groups of people were using something called protest, a form of activism, to make their voices heard and make the government listen to them and help them change these unfair laws. Now we call it the gay rights movement.
Okay, and that's the activism and movement stuff, right? Because they're trying to change something?
Yep, and it's still going on today. We all stood up for our rights for marriage equality, which was a huge win for LGBTQ plus people, and now we're all standing up together again for something called bathroom laws, which are really unfair to trans people and trans kids.
It's not cool to treat anyone unfairly.
You're definitely right about that, Teddy. So, a big part of Pride is remembering the very beginning of the movement that night with Marsha and Sylvia at the Stonewall Inn. The parade that happens in New York every year actually marches right in front of Stonewall.
Whoa, there's a lot more to Pride than rainbows and flags.
Pride is so important and has a lot of meaning behind it, but the rainbows and flags and celebration are all very important too.
I love celebrating Pride with you, Lindsay.
I really like celebrating Pride with you too, Teddy. Thank you so much for watching Queer Kid Stuff. This whole month we're doing all Pride-themed episodes. If you have any questions about Pride, you can always ask your grown-up. A huge thank you to our supporters over at Patreon. They are the best. Don't forget to subscribe for new videos every other Wednesday for season 2. That's it from me and Teddy. We'll see you next time at Queer Kid Stuff.
Yay! I love that video. Another really important thing to know about the two trans women that Lindsay mentioned being gay rights pioneers starting at Stonewall, Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera. Another thing to know about them is that they were women of color. They were trans women of color. So that's a really powerful part of history and gay rights history. Now, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Who knows that song? Do you know where that song is from? That song is from the movie The Wizard of Oz. And The Wizard of Oz is a play that's been done here in Green Lake before. The Wizard of Oz is from 1939, so long ago. And a very famous actress named Judy Garland played Dorothy, the main character. Judy Garland was loved by the gay community. Most people think it was because not only was she such a wonderful performer, and that performance and singing and art is an important part of queer culture, but as a human being, she went through a lot of struggles, and she overcame these struggles and still worked hard to perform and to sing her heart out. So she was an icon, a gay icon. And some people even think that the rainbow flag, which was created in the 1970s, way after this movie, was inspired by the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So please sing with me if you know it. If you don't, just enjoy. You can picture a rainbow, you can move your body, you can lie down and have a dreamlike meditation as you listen. I've never played this on piano before, so I know I'll make lots of mistakes, and I'm gonna just try to ignore the mistakes and get through the music. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a while. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, birds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, little, why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, birds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, little, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I? Happy Pride, everyone! And guess what? The LGBTQ community is an inclusive community. That means we like to include people. So even if you're not a member of the queer community, then you can still celebrate, you can support your queer friends and family. If you have questions, you might have some questions, you can ask me anytime. I know that we're not seeing each other in person right now, but you can ask me a question in Seesaw. You can ask your grown-ups at home if you have questions about Pride or any of the history that we've talked about. And I have another video for you to watch. Miss Laura, one of our art teachers, I know that she posted this for some of our younger students at Green Lake. It's another great song about a gay pride march. So enjoy, have fun. I'll see you next time. Happy singing. Bye.